ASMR. Sometimes I really feel like talking normally, but it just doesn't work. I don't really get my point across. So I'm going to ask Ann Landers, what do you think of...
You know this one has to be a surprise. Okay, so we just sat down with some cold tea. And so what better time to start recording our pilot episode of our new podcast, The Bickersons. We're tired of fighting over our problems, so let us fight over yours. Okay. Thanks, Dudar.
Ain't that the tooth?
Yeah. Well, we finally just finished putting away our Christmas stuff, which I disagree with wholeheartedly, but Dewey made me do it.
I wanted to do it on Boxing Day.
And I think that cleaning up the Christmas ornaments and putting away the tree should come after New Year's Day, the day after. Like
it only
New
took
Year's
25
Day.
Minutes.
Okay, yeah, well, still pain in the ass and our tea is cold, so. Anyways.
It's still warm, so that tells you how long it took. Not that long.
Okay, so let's jump into this. And how this works is we don't have any followers yet, like 0, because this is our pilot episode. So I had to steal...
well, we're followers ourselves. So we have 2, I guess.
So...
And our dogs.
That's true. Our dogs are big fans. They're sitting behind us making out. Anyways, I had to steal one.
Just wrong.
I had to steal someone's advice.
Why would you say that right off the bat?
Well, because this is the point.
All you would have to do is say, here's a twist on one that's already been told.
Spoken for. Yeah, but it's the legendary Ann Landers. And so I want to pay credit to where credit is due. Of course, we're not giving her answer, but I'm using an old one of hers just for a starting point. And this is where we're counting on you guys to write us and give us your own questions of advice. And at the end of every episode, of course, we're going to do our confession booth. And this is one that we... again, we had to take a confession off the internet. And the 2 of us come up with an idea of penance. That's our confession. And the 2 of us come up with a form of penance for that person's confession.
Our confession is that we have to confess that we don't have any good ideas for ourselves yet. Just this podcast. Anyways.
What do you mean we don't have any good ideas for ourselves?
Not yet. We have to, in our whole pilot episode, we've just taken other people's.
Because we have to form a listenership.
All right, let's continue.
Okay, so again, the first part is going to be people seeking advice, and the last part is going to be someone making a confession, and then we give penance, like what they can do for penance. Okay, so the first one, Dewey hasn't heard this one yet, so it's a surprise for him.
I'm Dewey, by the way.
And I'm...
Peepsy. Read your question, Peepsy.
Okay. Dear Ann Landers, I'm a 26-year-old with a problem. When I was in high school, I cheated on my steady boyfriend with an older man. I discovered I was pregnant and was sure the older man was the father. Yeah. So last December, after paying child support for over 6 years, he demanded a paternity test, and the child is not his.
Who demanded it? The older man?
The older man, the one who was the father.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the problem. When I found out I was pregnant, my boyfriend asked me if the baby was his, and I assured him it wasn't. Okay? That boyfriend is now happily married with children.
Whoa.
And I've been married to a wonderful man for almost 6 years, and he wants to adopt my daughter. So should I try and contact my old boyfriend?
No.
And disrupt... You're already sure of it?
I'm already sure.
And disrupt his life by telling him he has a daughter? Part of me feels he's entitled to know, but another part worries I might mess up more lives. Please tell me what I should do. Kitty in Kansas City.
Well, Kitty, you've already dug yourself let's just say you've been in a bit of some cat litter already. So let's just
No, you don't. What do you think?
Don't scratch up the litter anymore?
Don't scratch the post any more than you already have to. I would say no. Right off the bat was a no.
Okay, well, what I thought when I read it, and I thought no, and that's what Anne said too, probably just let it be, right? But then Anne said, unless any of my readers feel differently, then they should put their 2 bits in. And part of me thinks, and sorry, that was our guinea pig squeaking in the background, just in case you're wondering and you hear little chirps. We've got 5 of them. We got a little herd, and they can get a little noisy. And I think this question got them a little excited.
See, they're even there trying to say it's no. Don't bother.
Stop.
Yeah. No, why would you want to?
Well, okay, so...
Does the other person ever come back into her life, I wonder? Like, wondering how she's doing and whatnot?
Meaning the older man?
No, well, yes, the older man who's got
Well,
another
I'm guessing
family
if
ready.
he wanted a paternity test. No, the older man didn't have the family. Her steady boyfriend now has the family. Do you understand that?
Her steady boyfriend now has the family, but no, she had before. It's the child of her old boyfriend who's now long gone and married by himself and who has a steady family.
Yeah, so I don't think he has anything to do with them.
No, why wouldn't
he didn't think the kid was his.
Yeah, so he moved on. Why would you come back and drop a bomb on him and just totally disrupt his life?
Okay, but what if...
Things are good.
Okay, well, what if you want to know some health and stuff for the kid?
For the kid, the kid's gonna... No. Are you just... Is she gonna do it out of... What do you mean for the kid? Health for...
Well, what if you want to know some stuff that's in his family, that runs in his family? Preventative health stuff. That's a good reason to talk to him.
That's a new thing people check out. Within the last 10 years, I would imagine. That's something people didn't do in the past. Oh, by the way, on your way out, what's your family's disease of choice? Right? That's just something new. Just let it go. Let it slide. It's over.
Let it be random?
Let it be random. Sometimes it's the best things in life. Not know. Who would want to know if they're going to die, right? Live.
Yeah, but...
Well, okay. I mean, I could go both ways, but...
Well,
Who would want to live in the back of their mind knowing that one day they're going to have X and such a disease
I know.
forgiven?
You don't like that. I like to know.
I don't.
I do like
Live
to
every
know.
day to your max.
Well, I want to know. Like, so if I'm going to have Alzheimer's, I'd want to know because I'd want to prepare for those things.
How do you prepare for that? You make yourself little. So every day you play a cassette and it's like, wee, this is all new again?
Yeah.
It's like Groundhog Day?
Well, I'd want to do some things to make sure I was well prepared for it. Like, financially.
I don't think you can ever prepare yourself for dementia.
We watched Ask Alice.
Yeah, but who knows
how
the
good
type...
she was.
Yeah, but we don't know...
She was pretty prepared.
Yeah, for the first little while, then we don't know how far gone it went.
Okay, well... I think that, like, this,
I'm
thinking about the child.
Yeah, and the child...
Okay, so the child knows that old man, whoever, grandpa...
Does the child know that who's
well, I don't know. We don't know that.
And
so
why would you want to
more.
Disrupt that?
No, I'm saying, like, the older man... Listen to me. The older man who is paying child support for her all those years... Mm-hmm. Okay? He just hit the road out of her life. Okay? So obviously she knows that the paternity test was done and he's not her father. So don't you think the daughter is a little bit like, well, who's my dad then? And yeah, somebody adopting you can feel wonderful and loving, I guess, like you have a father or a role. But part of her will always be curious about her biological family. So shouldn't she have the right to know?
I guess so. My sister went after. Tried to find her real father. There you go.
You want to air that?
Well,
okay, we'll put that forward.
Yeah.
I think people want to know those things. You know what I mean? People are curious about, what does he look like? Do I look like my father? Do I act like him? You get curious.
Yeah, for the child, sure. But then the child, how old is the child? 10 years old? 9, 11, 12? Yeah. Who knows? Maybe younger? So it doesn't really make much of a difference if she knows or not. Whereas now you take that guy's family, he's got a whole other family, and you introduce that to that. Now that just sets off that's a whole, as you become adult, more problems come along and things become more difficult to gauge. And
Maybe he's like sweet, and maybe they get along. Maybe she would get along with his wife really well, and they could hang out, and the kids could play together.
In a Leave It to Beaver world, yes, I guess could be the case, but
I'm just saying there could be, maybe a little letter or email to this guy if you found him.
Maybe that would be the case. Hey,
And just say, hey,
you
you don't have to be involved. I'm not asking for child support. My current partner is adopting her, but I just want you to know that I had a paternity test. And
sorry, I lied to you all those years ago?
Well, she didn't lie.
Well, she assured him that it wasn't his.
Yeah, because she was cheating on him.
Yeah.
So she said, I don't think it's yours. And he was like, okay, fine.
Well,
so obviously she didn't.
I thought according to this, she said she assured it wasn't his. Let's read it again.
Yeah, but she thought it wasn't his. You can make a mistake, obviously.
Yeah. But she didn't have the balls enough to tell him in the first place she was having an affair on him.
She did, obviously, because he would have found out when she said, I'm pregnant and it's not your kid.
Oh, okay.
How do you not understand this scenario?
I understand it perfectly. When I found out I was pregnant, my boyfriend asked him me.
Don't read my handwriting. It's terrible.
Okay, well, they're saying well, let's get the gist of it again here. 1 second. When I found out I was pregnant, my boyfriend asked me if the baby was his, and I assured him it wasn't.
Yeah, but she didn't know because she obviously thought it was the older man. She was obviously almost certain, right?
Yeah.
She was having sex with two guys.
But we don't know for a fact that she actually told him she was having an affair.
Dudar, I'm pregnant and the baby is not yours is enough of a confession. What else?
So that's true.
Dudar,
I missed that. Well, I'm just so enraged that she didn't tell him.
She didn't tell him.
Anyways, I don't think you should.
I'm on the fence.
That's my final answer.
I don't think there's anything wrong with sending a sort of a little. I mean, this is an old thing, so they probably didn't have email back then. But if I was in that situation, I might send them an email and just say, hey, I know I haven't spoken with you. Well, this is the situation. A handwritten letter would be more.
Maybe even typed on a typewriter.
Yeah. Old-timey.
My dearest whoever.
Okay.
Sorry for whoring around all those years ago. But the baby is yours. We're just going to drop the bomb on you.
Okay. Let's just skip to the next one. That's enough of that.
Thank you. I think I win.
Okay. I think we got a good one. Well, it's not about that.
No, it is.
It's not about winning.
It is. I won.
Okay. This is one we went over earlier. I read it to you, and I just want to do it. Let's do it again. Just to add a second one in.
Again, not our ideas yet.
Yeah. It's not. But
maybe it never will be our ideas. Because some of them are so good. It's like, how would you even think about that if you weren't going through that situation?
Well, but we wouldn't write our own scenarios and confessions. We are hoping people who listen to it will send theirs in to us. We're not going to make them up.
Or maybe we will sometimes. Just so I can get air off my back what I'm really thinking. Okay. This randomly came in the mail.
This one came from a confession website called Make a Confession. Well, you got to give credit where credit's due. This one was dropped there, and it says, I realize now I'm not good looking. I'm 50.
It took him that long to realize he wasn't good looking.
Male. That's the reason why. I've never ever had a I've never ever had a woman spontaneously start a conversation to flirt. No conversations except transactional business type ones. Only recently have I learned that sometimes women make the first move and approach men.
Believe it or not.
Even when I was younger, I would always be the one to initiate any flirtation. Apparently, I am not now, nor was I ever, attractive.
Well, my question is, why did it take him so long to realize that? At 50 years old, you just wake up one day, look in the mirror, and you go, what? I'm not the most attractive looking man in the world?
Yeah, and it took him that long to realize that sometimes women hit on men. I mean,
I don't think he's the sharpest
tool
in the shed either.
Dudar?
Well, come on. At 50 years old, you should know some ins and outs
So
of this.
you're saying he's ugly and
I'm
stupid.
not at all. Well, maybe a little bit daft. Like maybe at that point in your life, you should kind of know how the ins and outs of workings of the human psyche, no?
Well, even if you're a bit of a loner or just being more observational, sure.
Yeah.
But you know what? I feel like, and when I read this at first on the website, I was like, buddy, like, looks are not everything.
Especially when you're 50.
Definitely not when you're 50. Looks are shit when you're 50. They don't matter at all.
Gravity, pardon me, has taken its toll.
Yeah, well, I just think it's like, and realize that pretty much everyone, and I'm speaking this as a middle-aged person, we're in our 40s.
I'm still in my 20s.
And, you kind of give up on the whole looking good thing, right? Like, it doesn't really...
Not all of us do, but... Teasing. But it's true, as you get older, things, you realize, like, it's not as important to be in the latest fashion trends or
sometimes people can be unattractive but say they're really funny.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so then...
Or good at sports.
Or good at sports, and that can be attractive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But it's true, as a 15-year-old male, though...
Good.
Well, that's unfortunate, right? But there are also services you can call. I don't know. That falls into place there.
Yeah, I knew you were going to drop that one in.
Well, it's true. 50-year-old male. So what is he looking for? If he's just looking for a companion, you could be able to... Or do you think he's just bitter because nobody's ever tried to talk to him? I think that's what he's getting at.
Well, it doesn't
he's never
even
been
say
flirted on.
It doesn't say that he isn't married. It doesn't say that he's single. It just says he's never had anyone flirt with him.
Yeah, that's true, huh? It's a little bit vague. Is he married? Does he have...
If we don't know, you could just be mad that nobody ever flirts with him. Maybe his personality, like some people...
It kind of sounds like nobody ever... I would think he was not married. Because if the second sentence, there's no conversations except transactional business type ones. So obviously he's never had a serious relationship with a man or a woman, right?
Well, with a woman.
With a woman.
Because he's specifically speaking about women.
Yeah.
And it almost sounds like there's... it kind of worries me with that, the movement that's going on. What are they called? Those celibate males that are celibate not by choice. They call themselves something.
I'm not familiar with that.
Yeah, you do, because we've spoken about it before.
We have, I don't remember.
Killed a bunch of women and people
yeah.
because
Michaels or something? They give themselves first names.
No, that's
it's not Barbies and Kens, but it's...
that's what they call other people.
Yeah, that's right.
Incels. Pardon me. There we go. Incels or whatever they call. And I just think celibate, they're celibate but not by choice. And this sort of has the bitter undertone of that, although not entirely. Like, I don't think he sounds... I think he's taking it out on himself more, that he's not attractive. And I think, like... when it comes to incels or even this guy, I think that people are... number one, you're focused on the wrong thing. So he's focused on the fact that he's not good looking. The other guys are so screwed up in their own way. I don't even want to open that can of worms right now. But this guy, like, there's so many other things that can make you attractive to other people. And not everybody has a flirty personality. Like, not everybody's like that. And that's okay. Maybe people don't feel comfortable flirting with him because he's not such a flirty person.
Maybe he's too serious.
Yeah, right? And there's something that can be attractive about very serious, non-flirty people. That can be also very attractive. And just because somebody didn't try to flirt with you doesn't mean that they didn't find you attractive. What?
Nothing. I was thinking about the guy in Europe who was mad because he couldn't legally change his age because on Tinder he had to put what real age he was. Did you hear about that case in Europe?
No.
Where the guy was trying to go to court to legally change his age.
So that he could look better on Tinder?
He could attract more, I guess, the category.
Well, yeah, because there's a certain... Remember my aunt talking about that? How she was saying that, like, You know, because she's past this certain age. So say it's 55. People stop looking at people past that point. They only want to look so much younger. Even if they're older, they still only want to look in that younger, 55 and younger. Pool. And they're really missing out because my aunt is...
Yeah, but we're not talking about your aunt here, though.
Yeah, well, maybe we could put a little plug in for her.
Yeah.
She's a very attractive, older professional woman who looks very young for her age. Very, very young for her age. Like, she looks like she's our age. You're missing out. Don't. Age is just a number.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Well, let's get back on point here. So this guy is 50 years old, never been hit on.
Yeah. So what? There's so many other things in life. You're alive. It's a miracle, really. Right? Like, there's so many other things to be excited about.
If you're on the right side of the sod every day, then it's a good thing.
Yeah. Right?
Well, maybe
there's other things to get excited about. Like, why do we focus on that one thing? Get excited that you read, a certain amount of books in this year or something. I
wonder if he's a
What are you good
person.
at? Yeah, what are you good at? What things are you good at? Celebrate those, right?
Have yourself a good London fog in the morning. Right? Who doesn't like a good London fog?
Okay.
Maybe, or, you know what? Buy a dog. Maybe he just needs some companionship. Get a dog.
Really, that's the solution to almost everything.
Or get an ugly dog. Right? No. Listen, get an ugly dog and walk it around the block. Dogs are often, people like to stop and talk to dogs. So the more whacked out you have a dog, or
it'll make you look better.
Right? It'll make it look better. And it's also a talking piece. You have a conversational piece.
Yeah, he's not the cutest dog.
He's not the cutest dog.
Loving.
Get yourself a mutt from the SPCA or wherever you're listening, whatever you call your city pound.
And just realize, as you fall in love with your ugly dog, that it doesn't matter. Looks don't matter, right? Yeah. Look at Dexter.
Yeah. We have a dog. He's a Chiweenier or a Daxiwawa, whatever way you want to call that breed.
And he's old and ugly and smelly right now.
Well, he's not ugly. He's a pretty sharp-looking dog.
Wow.
He's 14, so things aren't what they used to be. It's like that old gray mare. She ain't what she used to be. But anyways, back. Get a dog, 50-year-old male, and see what happens.
Yeah. And let's go. Last is that confession. Remember how we were going to do a confession at the end?
Oh,
and
yes.
We were going to say what penance this person should play. And I really think we need to go with this guy.
Okay.
Or woman. We're not sure who.
I'm thinking it's a man now that I'm reading it.
Really?
Yeah.
I visualize a woman abusing her female housekeeper.
Oh, good one.
Don't you?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to read that one?
No, you go ahead.
Okay. I abused my housekeeper for 3+ years. I would torture my housekeeper, kick her, smack her, dump water on her, stop her from eating, make her life a hell, and work her to death. After 4 years, she almost got away, so I reported her to immigration, and she was deported back to Bolivia. I'm a bad person, I know.
Maybe she was married to that 50-year-old man who was ugly that we just saw. We discussed.
Who?
This person.
That's
she's bitter at something. So obviously she was mad at her relationship she had with her
We can't just
partner.
do a whole thing on looks don't matter and then on the next one say someone's bitter because they're married to someone ugly.
Well, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying maybe that's why things were... Well, I'm just saying that.
No, obviously she
I think it's a woman.
Happy person.
I think she's
it's
a
not
woman.
A woman, and I think she was frustrated by things in her life.
You think it's a woman.
Yeah, I do.
So a woman.
You know what? The first thing I took from this is, well, I'm glad you could see that what a dick you were. I'm glad you acknowledged that you're a total asshole. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's a good step. Mm-hmm. But that's pretty horrific things to do to a human being.
Yeah, it's not like
The lady was probably happy to go back to Bolivia.
Yeah.
She was probably got there and was like, back among my people were kind to me. That's pretty horrible. Like, that's just a disgusting way to... Obviously,
After 4 years, she almost got away. She tried to escape?
Yeah, probably obviously kept her as like a slave, pretty much, in the house, right?
Yeah. That's horrible.
Which we know this happens. People take people in from other countries, knowing that they have... no connections in a new country, and
What I don't understand about this whole writing thing is the last sentence says, "I'm a bad person, I know," and it's all in capitalized letters with exclamation points. Is she happy that she's a bad person, or because I wouldn't put exclamation points. I wouldn't yell out to the world, "I'm a bad person, yay!"
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
So it's a little sadistic.
Like almost like it's no shame. Like she's proud of it. Like proud of those things. Just leave that. It's just got to stay there. Like, yeah, I guess so.
So it's
like it's almost
like she's proud of it, like you just said.
Well, that's disgusting.
Look how bad I can be. Maybe
that's a different way to look at it.
Maybe it's some sort of trophy. Look how I can. Maybe she's a really rich.
Well, clearly,
she doesn't give a crap.
Imported somebody in from Bolivia, and you have zero ethics.
Yeah.
That's disgusting. Anyway,
I didn't know there's an import-export Bolivia slaves.
Well, any country that's...
Yeah, I guess that's true. But I know that was a hot spot to go get slaves.
Well, I think... Yeah.
Maybe the Philippines.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of that in our
So I
neighborhood.
guess I should be saying that. But that's you predominantly see...
In our neighborhood.
In our neighborhood, yeah. Not that we have.
And not that we do.
No, in Canada.
And they're not treated... Well, we know because it's... Well, actually, if anybody's listening out there and you're from the Philippines and or any other country and you've been taken, you can speak to the government of the country you are in and receive help. So contact a local politician.
Peepsy, we're not given...
yeah, well, that's what you would do to get help. I'm sure they're sitting out there.
But we don't...
If you suspect somebody's being mistreated, help them. Well, what?
We're not giving advice here. Help advice to...
Well, maybe
perhaps
we are.
Illegal immigrants.
We're supposed to be...
We're just discussing problems.
Okay. Well.
Yeah. Maybe that's our second podcast. We'll give free legal advice to all the housekeepers out there in the world.
I have a little soft spot for that.
Yeah.
Okay, well, so what's her penance then?
I think she should go to Bolivia and clean some houses for free.
Yeah, well, she's obviously got money.
Yeah.
She should fly to Bolivia. Mm-hmm. And she should go there and help people.
Yeah.
By doing things for them and sharing her money and her wealth with people there. Mm-hmm. She may not find that housekeeper again, but I think she should look for her and she should gift her a large sum of money. Find out where she is in Bolivia. See her circumstances that she's living in, the circumstances she tried to escape.
She tried to escape, then found out life was worse with this person and wanted to escape back to her circumstances.
You know, a lot of these women come to our country, come to North America. I don't know if this is in Canada, maybe it's the United States, who knows. But I know a lot of people come to Canada because they send the woman forward to work as a housekeeper or like a care worker for an elderly person because they're hoping to send money back to their families so that they can eat and live. And this is just disgusting. So she should go to Bolivia. She should find out where this woman was put back and give her a money gift to help, ease her situation back in Bolivia. Make her life better. That's the only thing I can see. That was a great idea, Dewey. She should probably clean houses for a bit, too.
Yeah.
Just to see how shitty the work is.
Or she should go to a room, rent a room, and get all the housekeepers in her neighborhood, and they can dump water on her and smack her and kick her for a little while. Just to see what it feels like.
Yeah. Well, okay. I think we should wrap this up now.
Anyways,
this is just our pilot episode.
Thank you for
We're
listening.
Testing it out. If you made it this far, thanks.
Yeah. We'll see you next time when we discuss more people's problems. Maybe we'll discuss one of our own. Maybe that will be our confession. Ooh. All right.
Bye.
Bye.